Hi, in today's video subject, we're going to be covering how to develop a lead magnet that converts. While you're at it, if you like the video at the end, please like it. Give us a large thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And also reach over and some little extra effort for me today. Hit that bell icon so that you get notified every time we publish new content to our channel. And so without further ado, let's move on to today's video content about how to create a lead magnet that converts. So in today's video subject, we're going to be talking about how to create a lead magnet that converts, the newbie way. We hope that as a beginner that you'll understand after this presentation how important it is to take some time to create a lead magnet for your website or your blog, your niche, whatever it is that you're dealing with for an online property. What you need to do is realize that there are some things that you need to look at and seriously consider when developing a lead magnet. The number one thing we want to look at today is we're looking at three different things. The number one thing you want to look at is the problem. What is the problem that is being presented to your viewer, to your customer? What is it that you want to help them solve? What is the user intent? Why did they come to you? Why are they subscribed to your email list? The thing you want to do is to make a friend with them, to develop a relationship with them, because you have figured out how to answer the problem for them, the number one problem that they may be having or experiencing in the niche that you're building a web property on or the blog that you're blogging about. So we're going to look at is there some things you need to consider seriously that you need to figure out for yourself. Let's say if you pick out a blog as a subject, let's say gardening for the personal gardening, like we're in the coronavirus situation right now. There's a lot of people right now deciding that they need to, maybe it'd be a good idea if they had their own garden. So let's say you need to understand the audience that is coming to your site. So how are you going to understand the audience? Well, you need to figure out who they are. You need to figure out the age of them, maybe whether they're male or female, maybe whether they have a higher income, a middle range income, or a lower income. Figure out the reason through the keywords that people are getting to your site from. Figure out why they are and who they are. You need to figure out who the audience is. An audience can be labeled as an audience is a collection of like-minded people. Say if you were doing gardening as the example, and maybe it's mid-range income, middle-class type people. They're looking to not have a shortage of food for their family. So you'll find out that maybe their income level is from $40,000 to $70,000 a year. Maybe they have a family of, let's say, 4 people in the household. Whatever you can figure out, you need to figure out who your audience is. Figure out why they are coming to your site. Okay. Once you've done that, then you're going to need to figure out what a trigger is that you can take for that majority of that audience and use that trigger to get them to want to click on your lead magnet, to give you an email address for a lead magnet. You want to figure out what makes them tick, basically. What are their likes or dislikes, their passions, the things they disdain? Why are they there? What's the problem you're trying to solve, as we said? So if you can figure out a main trigger for your audience, that's the first important thing you want to do. What you're going to be looking at in these triggers is you're going to be looking at developing a list of positive triggers and a list of negative triggers. I always look at it as a positive trigger is something that you're running to, and a negative trigger is something you're running away from. So maybe it's you're trying to run away from the fact that you're going to run out of food. So you're running away from the fact that maybe you're not going to have the money to buy food in a grocery store. So a positive trigger might be that you've found during the coronavirus that you enjoy doing things with your family. Maybe you were too busy before that didn't happen, but now you have more time and you've taken a change of heart, if you will, and you're now figuring out ways to do things with the family. Maybe you figured out that you had fond memories of doing gardening with your grandfather or your grandmother, or maybe your mom or your dad. So with those memories intact now, having been freshly dug up by the circumstances of the coronavirus, you find a positive trigger. You want to develop a family activity, something that you all can take accomplishment in. So once you've figured out the triggers, maybe make a list of 5 positive, 5 negative. And then what you're going to want to do is go through the triggers, and you're going to want to figure out if each of the triggers can be measured in some way, for whether that's a good measurement or a bad measurement. Either going forward or you're going backwards. Will the trigger add to convert more people to your email list by opting in, let's say, if you will, to your lead magnet? If they do, you want to be able to measure that. You measure that, maybe a positive way to measure that would be increased traffic, increased page views. You making more money as the end result of the whole thing. But you need to be able to measure the trigger. Okay, so at that point, what we're doing is we've just talked about the problem. As we move through and how to create a lead magnet that converts, we've talked about the problem, defining the problem, defining who your audience is, and defining the triggers for them. Let's move on. The second point you're going to want to look at is the promise. What is it that you're going to promise them if they opt in to your email address? If you get the email address to your email list, if they give you their email address, it's on your email list now, what are they going to get in return? What's the lead magnet going to do for them? So you need to develop the promise. As you develop a promise, you want to make sure that the promise is an unbelievable desire needs to be created. This click to action CTA that you're going to be developing by figuring out how to do this is you need to figure out what's the best way, what's the most desirable of your triggers. Say you had 5 positive, 5 negative triggers. It's the thing that people are searching for the most. It's something that will be figure out what is the one thing that people will want and require the most, that they'll have the most passion for, that they'll get the best value for, they'll get the best results from, something that you can see as an attraction. So you need to create an unbelievable desire in your lead magnet. And as you do that, such a strong desire they need the lead magnet. You have provided that need. The need that they need the lead magnet is provided by the click to action calling that you've given them. Whatever you've written down as a lead to identify what it is they want. And what you're doing is you're identifying the ultimate lead magnet trigger. So what this is doing is you have 10 triggers, 5 positive, 5 negative. You've then figured out which is the most desirable and will get the best results. So then in your click to action, you need to identify the lead magnet trigger. So you've already done that, so you figured that out. And as you figured out what it is that they really want, and desire the most, what you're going to get is, like I said, you've gone through what's the biggest negative trigger, and you've also gone through and found out what the biggest positive trigger. So once you've figured that all out, then you can call out to your audience. As we said, the click to action. What is the best click to action phrase that will attract the most attention, that they'll want, that they need to click on that link and give you the email address. So if you figure that out, that's the second part. So we've had the problem and the promise. Promise is very key. Click to action is very key to conversion. So at this point, how to create a lead magnet that converts, we've talked about the problem and the promise. So at that point, what you're going to have to do is you're going to add the third element, and that's going to be the presentation. And the presentation will come in the form of various types of situations. So we're going to look at the presentation next. The biggest thing with the presentation is to make it simple. The KISS formula, the KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Be very simple indeed when you lay out what the lead magnet is going to become. You do not need to put a lot of extra work into it, but you need to put in solid investigation into it. And what you're going to want to do is create, these are some things that you can create that would make a great lead magnet. Number one is you can create a PDF. Number two is you could create a video or a series of videos that they would subscribe to, and they get, let's say, a video series, a 3-part series on something that people find most intriguing or most difficult, about gardening, let's say, because we've mentioned that. Or you can develop a cheat sheet. Just develop a 1-page cheat sheet that lists the different things that they need to know and gives them resources where to check on or things that they can go to learn things about, whether it be a video, a blog article, and an article to provide information. Okay, we've just talked about the video, the 3-part video series. Next, we're going to cover is cheat sheet. It'll be a 1 or 2 page, a limited sized page that has a list of content, places to go, information, maybe a certain video found somewhere that you found instructive, just a PDF somewhere that someone could download to help them out. Just going to give them a cheat sheet of points A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What you want to do, take them step for step as you go through the points, and you create a cheat sheet that they can use to accomplish what it is you're promising in your CTA. A checklist. Okay, a checklist would be, again, similar to a cheat sheet, except the cheat sheet's giving you like shortcuts. A checklist just basically a whole list of things that they need to accomplish. It's not just information, but this is going to be a list of to-dos, of things that they need to accomplish, things they need to learn, things they need to forget about so they can move on with what they need to be concentrating on, etc. The next one is a toolkit. The toolkit could be a variety of items that are put together. It's like opening up a toolbox. You got a bunch of tools in there. It'll help them towards the direction of what the CTA, the promise, gave them. The things I just laid out are from the PDF down to the toolkit. The PDF is the hardest to the easiest to create. So the toolkit would be the easiest for time, effort, and easiest for you to create. The PDF would be the most difficult to create and would have to have more knowledge and more expert to do that. So just want you to be aware of that when creating. Now the other thing is you're going to have is you can give, there's a couple more ways you can present the lead magnet in the form of a template, something they could fill out. They could download to their computer and they could fill out fill in the spaces, fill in the blanks, the template, and it'll give them a complete picture of something they need to accomplish and how to accomplish it. A swipe file is just basically downloading and inserting a couple names or addresses or whatever. Depending on your niche, of course, with a swipe file, create a guide and number. The last one would be maybe to point them in direction of a free trial, where it would be a program, marketing trial membership or whatever, but you could provide a free trial for them that they can and show them something they can do with the free trial to take advantage of and make better for them for what the CTA promised them that you'll give them. So as we've talked about how to create a lead magnet that converts, we've talked about the problem, the promise, and the presentation. And as we go through this, we hope this have helped you stir up some ideas and some things you could do with your personal niche of how to create a lead magnet that converts. So the perfect example of a lead magnet that converts would be this site here I found is called I Poop Cash. And this just is one page talking about Philip, who he is. And you can just put in your email and start now. Click here to get the 12-step action plan, a tutorial. That's the lead magnet that's been planned out for people making money online. 12 steps to making money online, how to build a making money online site. So in conclusion, creating a lead magnet that converts for a newbie is vitally important in order to start collecting email addresses, so you have an email list. And if you got value out of this video, please like it, give us a large thumbs up, and while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you already haven't done that. And while you're at it, also then a little extra effort, please hit the bell icon so you're notified every time we publish new content to our channel. Thank you for watching, and so long.